definitely see it from both angles. If you can ride it, ride it. Him and a couple buddies, they take a trip to the west coast area, or out west. Last year they went out to Texas, San Antonio, and that rounds about. They're going to Arizona this year. He doesn't trailer then, he rides. All three of them do. So I mean, depends on the situation and all of that, on what he's going to do. But he has that trailer for that option. I've got a little 5x8 utility trailer that I need to, never measured the length of my bike to see if it would even go up in there, and whether it's long enough. I'm thinking it might not be, but I haven't measured. But my tailgate's too short, creates quite an angle for entering the trailer, because I know my riding lawnmower would get stuck occasionally trying to get up on there and stuff like that, because it's got a real fairly short rear gate. I mean, it doesn't come up very high behind it, whereas if you see a lot of them with a much longer gate, would give you a whole, come on buddy, if you could go, we could make this green light, but you're gonna be a butt. Hauling shit to the dump. But yeah, I'm looking forward to October for my first bike rally. Last year, the first ride I went on was the police memorial ride put on by the Knights. I think it's chapter 2. There was 1,500 something bikes last year, and the year before there was 2,000. I was like, well, that's one way to get broken into a bike rally ride. Start it big. And the next one I did was like 45 bikes, and you're like, holy crap, what a difference. But it took 322 police officers to kick that event off, to do traffic. They had like 6 motor units that did the actual escort, and then the rest of the officers were all throughout Atlanta, all the way to the downtown near Centennial Park, on every intersection. And our feet never came off the floorboards once we started. I mean, they even stopped traffic on 285, the interstate, which I figured people got a little ticked over that. But because it was probably blocked for a while, because we were it took a long time for that many bikes to come and stream through and get down and all that stuff. But anyways, we're here, so gonna say peace out until the till the game's over and I head home. So ciao. I want to look at it. Pretty sure this, yeah, that's it. Hello, friends, again. Shoot. Forgot to throw them in the... Get in there. Okay. Hello, friends. We're back. Good soccer game with Emma. They won. Team plays really well together. There was some awesome passing. One of the goals they scored was just like picture perfect. It was just textbook. It was like boom, 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 score. It's like, wow. And these are 8 to 10-year-olds. Yeah. Some good stuff. I'm ready to go home. Ready to go home. I'm hungry. I should have ate breakfast with the family there at Hades. I wasn't hungry then. And I was telling them I got to the gym and was on the treadmill. About 30 minutes into the walk, the cardio, my belly was rumbling. I was thinking, okay, now the cereal's about gone. I wish I'd eaten. I'm hungry. Not. String of traffic coming down Candler Highway. It's been a really great day so far. It's just before 3 o'clock. Oh, I know what I've come across that's really bizarre. This GoPro 4 that I bought and put on my helmet. So far so good. It really improved my audio because I could hook the better mic to it, and so far I've had great luck with it. What was bizarre is there's no time and date stamp. Even though it has time and date in the camera, it doesn't put a time and date stamp on the video. And I was looking at that and reading about it, and GoPros don't do that, which is sort of mind-boggling because, I mean, camcorders from way back when they were full size and then they shrank down have all had time and date stamps. The little China versions, the knockoffs of GoPro, they have time and date stamps. But the GoPro, which is the most expensive sport camera out there probably, and the industry leader, they don't have time and date stamp, even though they do have the time and date in the settings of the camera. And there was a place where a guy was answering, you know, the people's questions type thing, and he left a link for suggestions and recommended, you know, sending your suggestion to GoPro about, we'd like to have time and date stamp. I'm sure it would be a firmware addition and update that they just like we do the Harleys, flash the computer when you get the next firmware update that allows the time and date stamp to appear. But it just shocked me, because I was like, good Lord, this is I mean, it's what you think to be a high-end camera, and you would think it would have that, because I usually use the time and date stamp on the helmet camera to match the camera facing me, so I have those pictures the same. I always just look for the time to match them and cut them where they fit. And I'm like, okay, I don't have that time to go by now. So you kind of have to see where you're at, because it looks really bizarre if you've got your helmet cam showing that you're pulling in somewhere, or you're in a parking lot, or you're like pulling into the gym, and the camera facing me shows you buzzing down the highway with the trees flying by. So makes it more interesting, a little bit more challenge to match that up. And it was still a challenge just to find and match the times and all that, and to get them to, sometimes they'd be, you know, a second off, because they didn't want to, you keep trying to flick them back and it still wouldn't line perfectly up. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. You know, after a half dozen tries or more of trying to get it to sync and it doesn't, you're just like, okay, be a second off then. Shrink the picture and you can't really see it much. Wonder what they're doing there. But I thought that was interesting about GoPro. It's like, wonder why they have never allowed for the time and date stamp. I mean, good Lord, you're in GoPro 6s now, so you would think more people over the time would have said stuff. And like the guy was saying, you know, if you complain or recommend, or however you want to put it, maybe the GoPro people don't, you know, users, the what would you call GoPro users? GoPro users. I guess it doesn't really matter if you have a time and date stamp. I just like it because a little easier just to look at the video and know when you made it. Plus it makes those combining those two together. Shoot, I made that part 1 video last night. I guess I was tired, but I knew I was lacking something, and I went ahead and started it to YouTube, and it wasn't until today when I was looking at it to forward it to Facebook that realized that I didn't add that part to it. I had more of that than I did regular footage, because I made my GoPro hiccup on the way up there. Thought I had it turned on and looking down in the mirror of the fuel tank lid, couldn't see any of the controls flashing, so I was trying to activate it, and somehow I got it apparently into the photograph burst mode, because every time I was punching the buttons I was getting number of pictures, and that's why I had so many files showing. I thought, darn, maybe I did get a lot of video. Nope, I got a bunch of pictures of me. Yeah, pictures of me looking at the fuel tank. of those knockoff cameras with the Legend, or not the Legend, the SJ series being the best one per se, because it has external mic. I think my 8 one, film wise, especially at night, is better, and it's half the price, but all of them have time and date stamp. So I guess that was just a little freaky to my brain, that it didn't do it. So you GoPro users out there, if you're thinking about why there's not a time and date stamp, click on the recommendation link on GoPro.com and say, hey, we'd like to have a time and date stamps. Maybe they'll do a firmware update with that in it. Maybe. Well, we are almost home, so I'm gonna tell y'all goodbye. Don't know, I think rain may be here Monday too, so it might be a couple days before I get back with you, but we have part 2 of yesterday's ride, and we have this, and I got quite a bit of footage today, so we got some stuff to post. So we'll see you on the flip side Monday or Tuesday, whenever the weather is better. Y'all be good, and don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.